Have you ever wanted to play as a quirky little robot whose only job it is to save humanity from the brink of extinction? Well, this might be the game for you. This is The Last Caretaker. You are a little robot companion that has been created for the sole reason of saving Earth's basically downfall and humanity's extinction. You will caress tiny little seeds and create little humans and shoot them off into space. You are the only thing remaining alive on Earth other than some dangerous rogue machines. Your job is to solely protect the human seeds and figure out a way to launch them into space as you nurture them. And whether you're going to grow little humans, I'm really not sure. But yeah, the whole seed thing sounds pretty damn weird. Now, this trailer looks really, really cool. For an indie studio, I think this is a really good trailer. Let's check it out. It's pretty cool.
A guardian, a caretaker. Its hands shaped to nurture, its heart programmed to protect. It works tirelessly now, crafting vessels from the bones of a broken world, sending sparks of life into the void. The task I gave it was impossible, but isn't that what hope always is?
Why does the sun go on shining? Why does the sea rush to shore? And don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.
Now, that was the trailer. Overall, I think that was actually really quite smart. I enjoyed it. It was awesome. The gunplay looks a little bit finicky, but the rest of it looks really detailed. I think they've focused a hell of a lot more on some of the survival elements, like being able to recycle stuff and chucking it in the big grinder. I think that was a really cool feature. Being able to wire things up. A lot of the building aspects and crafting mechanics look really detailed. The shooting stuff looks quite fun as well. I don't know how that's going to play out. It looks interesting though. I do like a little bit of shootiness in a survival game, just not too much. And this looks like it's going to be much more of a mix. Now, the ending seems to be some sort of like Subnautica-esque ending where you've got to get off of the planet before everything goes tits up and it sinks. There's some sort of flower thing. I don't know if that's like engulfing sculptures and your buildings. So you are sort of tied into a sort of time limit in a sort of storyline element, if that makes sense, rather than actually only having a set amount of time. It will tie in with the story. So you do get out eventually if you want to, or you can continue to build and expand like in games like Subnautica. Now, it's developed and published by Channel 37. There's no news on if it will be coming to console, so more than likely not yet. They are going into early access, and the best games are built by their players, is what the team have to say about being in early access, and they want to be in it for around about 12 months. The timeline will depend on development process and player feedback. The priority is to build a polished and immersive experience, and will take the time needed to ensure it reaches its full potential. They're planning on differing the full version from early access with core mechanics and extended gameplay systems, combat options, balances to minimize and maximize certain aspects of the game. So pretty damn cool. They've got a lot of stuff available at launch: enemies and threats, crafting and recycling, world and locations, weapons and resources management. All of that is in there. It doesn't say about being able to build bases yet, but you can dismantle abandoned structures and decide what is carrying over to the recycler. Should you melt down an old power core for resources or keep it for repairs? So it looks like the boats and stuff like that and the ships that we've got are already built. There's not going to be too much in the way of base building yet, but we'll have to wait and see about that one. Now, the container ship was something that really caught my eye. I think that looks really cool. Rather than just building some, naff little raft, we are really skilled, or there's just stuff like that lying around that we have access to and we can figure out how to use it. I think that's really cool. Whereas in something like Stranded Deep or Subnautica, you'd have to craft everything sort of from the ground up. But being able to play a survival game with that vast expanse of technology, like the container ships and stuff like that, and we can travel vast distances. And when it comes to co-op, there's no news on whether or not they're planning it. It doesn't say that it's going to be brought in. Currently, they are just single player. It doesn't say anything about anything else. So, well, that's all right. And the developers are Channel 37, which these guys don't have any products. There's nothing at all. They've got 35 followers, and this is their first game. So I think for a first game as well, they've actually done really well with that trailer. I love the gameplay footage so far as well. It looks really good. The screenshots all look pretty good, as you can see. The shooting ones, I think it looks better in screenshots. When it's in motion, I think the shooting looks a bit off. And then as you can see, inside your container ship, you're in some sort of hangar here as well, which I think is quite cool. I don't know whether you're inside the rocket station or whether you start off on land. It does say that the world is flooded. So whether there's some sort of one base or massive floating pontoon that acts as a central hub, I'm not 100% sure. The rocket system or ship looks like it could do that, but as we saw with the sea mines, it looks like there's going to be a lot of stuff off in the distance. So it looks like there's something there, but I'm not 100% sure. It might just be something on my screen. I don't think it is, though. And then that looks like the rocket tower from the distance. And then the guns do look really cool. I just don't like the look of them in combat. I think it looks really odd. And then here we have things like the recycler and then power. I mean, power looks like it's going to be a bit of a bitch. But all of this doesn't look like it's been built, I don't think. I mean, those do look like 1x1 little wall slots, and then these are maybe sort of strengthenings to add to the integrity of the structure, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. And then as you can see here, we've got a power line coming out and going into the building. So whether these can be built and these are sort of extensions to the launch pad, I'm not 100% sure. And then they do talk about being able to reactivate vital systems that will rebuild the Moses infrastructure. So whether that's just like the rocket ship platform and then you build out and expand upon that with massive modules, not 100% sure, but it doesn't look like it's going to have a sort of base building element to it. And then the reason you're carrying the human seeds is, well, in the trailer, the woman talks about creating you for a purpose of keeping us alive. This is the Lazarus Complex. It's the last human sanctuary. You've got to monitor and optimize the delicate process of human seed growth, balancing power, nutrition, and memory reconstruction, and every launch to the stars brings humanity one step closer to a future beyond the ocean. So it seems like you're creating humans on Earth to send off to another planet, and that's your job. And it seems like there's going to be a story element to that as well, because they do say that as you're exploring, you're going to be uncovering the last days of Earth and the truth behind your existence. So that sounds quite cool. I'm very excited for that. So I love the idea of this so far. It seems really interesting. I love the gameplay of it. It looks awesome. Hopefully it runs that well and performs like that. We'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think about The Last Caretaker? But for today, that is it from me. Hopefully you've all enjoyed. If you want to see something else, let me know in the comments down below. Or if you've enjoyed The Last Caretaker and like to know more, let me know also. I'm going to be following the development on this one. Hopefully we see something relatively soon. But now though, I've been Wide, you've been awesome, and we'll see you in the next one.